Now on Nightside, a Spokane County judge clears the way for Gonzaga transfer Tyon Grant Foster to play this season. But the courtroom battle may not be over. We'll tell you why.
The coldest morning of the season so far is just a few hours away. I'll let you know how cold it's going to get overnight and if it's going to rain on your trick-or-treaters.
And the Spokane City Council unanimously passes a citywide camping ban tonight. What residents should know. You're watching 4 News Now, Nightside. Well, thanks so much for staying up with us tonight. I'm Derek Dice. Gonzaga transfer Tyon Grant Foster will be able to suit up for the Zags this season. A Spokane County judge granted him a preliminary injunction against the NCAA today, allowing him to play. The NCAA argued Grant Foster had already used up his 4 years of eligibility at other schools. That includes 2 years Grant Foster spent at a junior college in 2018 and 2019. His legal team believes he would qualify for an eligibility waiver for at least one of those seasons.
NCAA can come up with rules to address that don't discriminate against people's choice of college, that don't shorten your 4-year college experience by 2 years because you needed some time to get ready.
Now, Grant Foster's legal team says the NCAA can still appeal the decision, but hopes it will respect the ruling that was made today. And Grant Foster went from the courtroom to the basketball court, playing 9 minutes in Gonzaga's exhibition game tonight. Mia Green joins us now with some of those highlights.
Well, thanks, Derek. The Zags game was a really fun one, second exhibition game. And you know, it's Zags time. Tonight's exhibition was a preview that this season is going to be electric. From dunks to dimes, the fans really got to see that full dose of Zag energy. And with their second exhibition game, Spike was fired up. All the fans were too. And to say the energy in the kennel was electric is an understatement. Tyon Grant Foster back on the court tonight. Look at this assist to Graham EK for the slam dunk, and the fans couldn't have been more ecstatic. Mark Few and all of his teammates all in full support. You can see all the handshakes right here. And Braden Huff was on fire tonight, got the Zags' first points on the board with multiple baskets early in that game. And of course, Graham EK brought all the heat in that one too. And that's of course a duo that you do not want to mess with. The Zags ended up dominating that one for a final score of 111-53, which is more than double of the Wolf score. Zags fans had a lot to cheer about tonight, and it's only beginning. We have all the local action heating up for later in the show. The Cougs, Vandals, Eags all have a big weekend, and the Velocity is heading into playoffs soon. Chiefs have a game coming up. So lots of momentum across the Northwest. More sports coming for you soon. But right now, back to you, Derek.
All right, Mia, thank you. The Spokane City Council passed a new ordinance tonight banning camping citywide. The Safe and Accessible Public Spaces Ordinance prohibits camping and obstruction on all public property, including right-of-ways and entrances to private businesses. Council members say the stricter penalties and clearer definitions will create real change across Spokane. Unlike the camping ban passed in June, people can no longer avoid trouble by simply moving to a different location.
Clarifies that any violation can be cited by an officer, but also encourages an officer to refer an individual to services to navigation.
And the ordinance gained bipartisan support at today's Public Safety and Community Health Committee meeting. It then passed in City Council unanimously. By passing it, officers now have clear enforcement language and can decide whether to cite violators or refer them to resources. The ordinance goes into effect immediately. All right, we now turn to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker. And Chris, we saw some grapple in some areas today.
Yes, grapple, a little bit of thunder, as well as rain showers and sun. This is our time lapse from this afternoon, looking over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena, the beautiful foliage they had there. And it started off with partly sunny skies, and then we had this band of shower and again, some very unsettled weather with grapple, a few rumbles of thunder moving by to the south. We only had a few sprinkles and a little bit of grapple here at 4 News Now, and all of that precipitation has tapered off now, other than a few sprinkles in the central Panhandle Mountains. We'll be staying dry overnight and through the day tomorrow. But temperatures are dropping quickly with a little bit of clearing. We are in the 30s in many locations across the region, a good 4 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. yesterday, 7 degrees cooler than 24 hours ago in Pullman and 9 degrees cooler than this time yesterday in Colville. We are headed to the coldest night of the season so far, with lows in the upper 20s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, even in the teens in Colville, 27 tomorrow morning in Pullman, 29 in Moses Lake, as well as Ritzville. If you have not had a hard freeze at your house, tonight might be the night as we get down into the 20s. Very few of our summer plants and will be able to survive a night like this. Meanwhile, we do warm up nicely tomorrow, pretty close to average. Our average high is 51. We're heading up to a high of 52, a mix of sun and clouds, and then the clouds increase late in the day, and that is in advance of our next round of wet weather. I'll let you know what to expect from that in just a few minutes. Derek?
All right, Chris, thank you. In Washington, D.C. today, the second longest government shutdown in U.S. history is about to enter its 5th week. While the Senate met tonight, no deal was reached to reopen the government. Now, crucial services millions of Americans rely on are beginning to run out of money. For the latest details, here's ABC's Christiane Cordero.
In what is already the second longest government shutdown in U.S. history, today the Senate returns to Capitol Hill to an impasse showing no signs of breaking.
You need 60 votes in the Senate. We only have 53 Republicans. The Democrats are the ones voting repeatedly to shut down the government.
Democrats insist on extending the Affordable Care Act tax credits and restoring Republican cuts to Medicaid, something Republicans aren't willing to negotiate until the government is back open. As the shutdown drags on, tomorrow, air traffic controllers who are currently forced to work without pay will miss their first paycheck. Some 2 million service members could go without pay starting Friday. And funding for SNAP benefits is set to run dry on Saturday, cutting off food assistance for some 42 million Americans enrolled in the program, according to the USDA. That's more than 12% of the U.S. population.
There's no reason why the strongest country in the world, as we claim, is letting their people starve.
The USDA appeared willing to use emergency funds as a short-term solution, but then backtracked, saying such move would have to go through Congress.
There has to be a pre-existing appropriation for the contingency fund to be used.
The administration has moved funds around to protect other programs during this shutdown. Among those stepping in to help those impacted, World Central Kitchen, often deployed to war zones, now serving Washington, D.C.
We're here in the southeast neighborhood in Washington, D.C. and Navy Yard, just because we know that there's so many different federal offices around this area, and so we want to meet the community where they're at.
Virginia's governor declared a state of emergency, saying he will use funds from a state surplus to keep SNAP funded. The USDA has warned states will not be reimbursed if they cover the costs during the shutdown. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
And local food banks are worried their shelves may be empty later this week. Pantries are in high demand now that the government shutdown has officially paused SNAP benefits starting on November 1st. At the MLK Community Center in East Central Spokane, supplies are already running low. The director is worried that with the increased demand, they may have to turn people away. Many of those people have no other option to feed their families.
We don't know if we're going to eat or nothing else next week. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you going to do?
The shutdown also blocks food banks from applying for grants. Meanwhile, community donations can provide temporary relief. The Church of Latter-day Saints will donate 13 pallets to the Greenhouse Food Bank in Deer Park tomorrow, but pantries don't know how long these supplies will last as the demand grows. Well, Election Day is just 8 days away, and this morning a complaint in Superior Court was filed against Alejandro Barrientos, who is running for Spokane City Council in District 2. The complaint, filed by Elaine Rosado and 2 others, argues Barrientos hasn't lived in District 2 long enough to qualify as a representative. The Spokane City Charter states candidates must be qualified voters who have lived in both the city and the district they are running for during the year immediately preceding the filing deadline. We spoke with Barrientos on Friday, who maintains he's lived on the South Hill in District 2 during that period, but acknowledged he spent some nights elsewhere while going through a divorce. So what does this complaint against Barrientos mean for his eligibility to run for city council? he remains eligible to hold office unless a judge decides he is not qualified. Should the judge find him eligible, votes for him will be included in the count. A decision declaring him ineligible before Election Day could lead the court to order the elections office not to tabulate his votes. If that decision comes after Election Day and Barrientos wins the race, it could result in the court directing the elections office to not certify him as the winner. Barrientos released a statement this evening regarding the complaint filed against him, writing in part, "This is an attempt to weaponize a painful period for my family for political gain. Make no mistake, I'm a resident of District 2, and I look forward to representing my neighbors on the city council." Well, if you're planning to vote or planning to mail in your vote for the upcoming election, you should try to get it in by tomorrow. This is because of changes made to the USPS pickup schedule. Spokane County Auditor Vicki Dalton says your ballot will be rejected due to a late postmark, so to make sure it's marked for the correct day and get it in the mail no later than tomorrow. All right, still ahead, what you can do to protect your information when shopping online. And Hurricane Melissa is now a Category 5 storm. We'll have the latest details on the storm's path and its timeline. Plus, Chris Crocker returns with your first alert forecast. It's all next on Nightside. Stay with us.
Tonight, if you snooze, we all lose. Do you have any weird things like a tank or anything?
Can't do it. I've tried to get a tank. I've tried.
Have you really tried to get a tank?
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
4 News Now is brought to you by CARD, the Center for Asbestos-Related Diseases.
Anxiety, depression, trauma. They're hitting students harder than ever. But now Spokane schools and doctors are bringing help right to campus. I'm Kirsten O'Connor. I'll show you how this resource is becoming a lifeline for families. Wednesday at 6 on 4 News Now.
Resilience. At Shriners Children's, we're leaders in pediatric sports medicine. With expertise in sprains, tears, fractures, and other sports-related injuries. We're here to deliver the best care in the business and never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs. Because every great comeback starts with a game plan for empowering the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
Whether you're an architect, contractor, or owner-builder, the windows and doors you choose matter. That's why at Northwest Window and Door, we choose Marvin's Ultrex products. Pultruded Ultrex fiberglass is 8 times stronger than vinyl and 3 times stronger than Fibrex, the composite our competitors are using. Marvin's Ultrex products are engineered to outperform in strength, stability, and energy efficiency, a difference you can see and feel for decades. Get 3 quotes. Make sure one's ours. You'll be glad you did. Get Marvin's Ultrex products at Northwest Window and Door.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
Spokane's hottest music.
Break me so done with you, girl. I've been popping, man, I feel just like a rock star.
Hot 96.9.
An unspeakable crime, so many unanswered questions.
Is this actually happening?
She had been beaten, stabbed, and set on fire.
Tonight.
Did you kill Jessica Curran?
I've never met Jessica Curran.
2020, tonight on ABC.
4 News Now is brought to you by R&R RV.
All right, welcome back. Here's a look at Snoqualmie Pass from earlier today. As you can see, the mountains and the sides of the road were covered in snow, but thankfully for everybody driving, those roads were clear. And while we're expecting a hard freeze tonight, there's no snow in our forecast, at least for now, right, Chris?
At least down here where the folks live. Yeah, I think we're going to be all right. Here are 4 things to know about your forecast. It is going to be cold tonight. Overnight lows down in the 20s in most locations. After a few showers today, we are going to stay dry until Tuesday night. More accurately, early Wednesday morning. Then we have the possibility of rain for trick-or-treat. I will say that there's some things showing up in some of the models that are hinting that it could hold off until after your trick-or-treaters have come home for the evening, and we fall back this weekend. Daylight saving time ends. Here is our chance of rain. As it stands right now, we are dry on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, a 40% chance of showers, but it is mostly going to be in the morning, even right up until the morning commute, and then we dry out all the way through the day on Thursday. Friday, presently a 70% chance of rain. That may change heading downward as please check back before you scrap the Halloween costume altogether in favor of a poncho, and a 50% chance of showers on Saturday. Let's talk about this first system on the way. Starting off the forecast radar about 24 hours from now, a sprinkle or two possible through the early part of the overnight on Wednesday, but the best chance for rain will be as we get into the early morning, 4 a.m. Wednesday morning. We have some rain. By the time the morning commute gets underway, most of that rain is going to be off to the east. Here is Wednesday at 8 a.m. And then we continue to dry out and then stay dry, as I mentioned, right on through Thursday. So that first system comes through. Oops. Why aren't you moving? There we go. Comes through on Monday or Tuesday. Here's Tuesday at 4 o'clock. We'll get a little bit of a southwesterly flow, a warm front coming through, and that will bring our temperatures back up to average. The system comes through and brings that rain through Wednesday morning. Then high pressure builds in for the rest of the day, Wednesday and Thursday. Then our trick-or-treat system starts moving in. Here's Friday at 5 o'clock with most of that rain still just barely over the Cascades. So we might make it through trick-or-treat with dry conditions. Check back right now. This is our chance of rain Friday at 7 o'clock, and we're in this medium green, which would indicate a 40 to 60% chance of measurable rain at peak trick-or-treat time. That lighter green down on the Palouse is 20 to 40% chance. Our high temperature trend, meanwhile, over the next 7 days, we are going to be in the 50s. Even with those systems coming through, we are not going to be cooling down much. Temperatures staying just about average, if not a little bit above. Don't forget, please remember, we set our clocks back Saturday night or Sunday morning as you like. Right now, a 50% chance of rain on Saturday. Pick of the night tonight is from our friend Carol Sales Ridbob. This was tonight's sunset. You could see the rain showers on the left side of your screen and a beautiful sunset right in the middle. And this photo was taken this evening from the 5 Mile area, Derek.
Yeah, beautiful picture. All right, online shopping dominates how we buy everything from clothes to groceries these days. But cyber criminals target shoppers who aren't careful with their personal information. In today's Money Saving Monday, financial crimes expert Samantha Harper from STCU shares 3 ways to protect yourself when you're shopping online.
They know when you are at your stressed or your loneliest, and that's when they choose to hit and provide the right story to make it really believable.
Harper recommends avoiding public Wi-Fi for purchases, never saving banking information on shopping sites, and using phrase-based passwords instead of just single words. And if you receive texts or emails asking you to move money, experts say to Google the request first because it could be a scam. All right, next on Nightside, why West Hills residents say they feel deceived by a proposed tiny homes development.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
This is our new home.
Mission control, engine lock.
Call you after.
Born and raised in Spokane, Zach Sapone is a teacher who understands our challenges to get ahead. Zach goes above and beyond, standing up for working and middle-class families like his own. On council, he's delivered results, making housing more affordable, improving streets and transit, and creating safe, vibrant neighborhoods. Zach knows there's more to be done. That's why he's pushing forward on homelessness, housing, and public safety.
I'm Zach Sapone. I'm asking for your vote so we can keep fighting for everyone to have a fair shot.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR plus no monthly payments until next year on select Sierra 1500 models.
ShopDaveSmith.com.
Is it time to update your living spaces? Don't overspend at the big box store. Come see us at Consign Furniture. We have the largest selection of like-new consignment furniture in Liberty Lake. No long wait times on couches to dining sets, rugs, and more. And our team will deliver today. Inventory moves fast. Check us out online or stop by today.
Consign Furniture. It's the easy way to sell, smart way to buy.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mainstream Electric Heating, Cooling, Plumbing.
Welcome back. Hurricane Melissa is now a Category 5 storm with winds up to 175 miles per hour. Jamaica is bracing for what could be the worst storm in its history. For the latest, here's ABC's Melissa Adon.
Category 5 Hurricane Melissa barreling down on the Caribbean island of Jamaica. The storm with winds 175 miles an hour. Video from U.S. Air Force hurricane hunters tracking Melissa, showing the eye wall, hurricane force winds extending 30 miles from the center. One of the flights into the storm had to turn back after hitting severe turbulence. On Jamaica, heavy equipment working to clear drainage ditches as some areas could get up to 40 inches of rain. The Jamaican government issuing mandatory evacuation orders throughout the island.
It is a directive to save your life, to remove yourself from communities that are extremely vulnerable, the low-lying, flood-prone areas, and to get you to a shelter.
Airports shutting down, leaving some tourists stranded. ABC's Ike Ajachi is in Kingston.
Whew, the Caribbean feels like bathwater right now, which is giving Hurricane Melissa so much more strength, producing up to 13 feet of storm surge in some parts.
Melissa has already killed at least 6 people across the Caribbean and caused destruction in Haiti and the Dominican Republic, where officials say nearly 4,000 people are displaced. The U.S. Navy evacuating 1,000 non-essential personnel, family members, and pets out of Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. On Jamaica, locals say they're taking the storm seriously.
She's a monster coming. So we have to ensure that we protect life. And while we will be able to build back homes, we will not be able to get back lives.
After crossing through Jamaica, the hurricane expected to weaken, then head towards eastern Cuba and the Bahamas. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, the controversy continues over the tiny home village coming to Spokane's West Hills. Neighbors say they feel misled by the organization behind the tiny homes project. In a 23-page letter to city staff, one neighbor alleges the Waters Meat Foundation has not been transparent about the development, saying it was misleading when answering an environmental impact checklist by not disclosing who would live there. The letter also claims the property is not zoned correctly for this project.
They did not disclose at all that these were going to be homeless individuals, particularly suffering from opioid use disorder.
The letter says the project has been compromised and should be abandoned. Waters Meat Foundation says it's working with city staff to comply with all laws and regulations, and that it holds regular community meetings to gather feedback. Those meetings are open for anyone to attend. The city's review of the application is ongoing, and the process remains open and transparent. Nothing has been finalized, and they are still taking public comment. All right, now for some of our top trending stories in the 4 News Now Story Tracker. A new lawsuit filed in the Spokane County Superior Court alleges decades of abuse at the Juvenile Detention Center from the 1980s to 2010. The suit was filed on Friday with 15 people listed as plaintiffs. Spokane County has not yet responded. Next, according to Coeur d'Alene police, a seaplane partially sunk in Lake Coeur d'Alene overnight yesterday. The plane sank at a dock at Independence Point, and police say it happened due to heavy winds. Thankfully, no injuries were reported. And last, 2 teens who were reported as missing yesterday were found safe today, according to the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. They were initially reported missing after they disappeared, taking a bus to downtown Spokane without permission. You can find each of these stories and much more on our website at KXLY.com. All right, sports reporter Mia Green joining us now, and last real warm-up for the Zags before the games start to count.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was a good one. It was fun. It was exciting. And then, of course, we have a lot going on in sports right now. The World Series taking on right now. And I mean, there's so much more to come. And it's been an exciting first 2 weeks with y'all. And the Zags with their exhibition game tonight. Coming up on 4 News Now, we have all the highlights for that one for you. Stick with us.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local at KXLY.com.
4 News Now is brought to you by Parker Toyota.
Tomorrow?
So this is it. What's up? Let's do it.
Things are gonna get H.
It's yeah.
O.
Oh, the tongue.
T.
I'm getting secondhand sweat.
When the hottest show on the internet takes over GMA.
I'm scared.
And puts Robin, George, and Michael head to head. So, who will win?
Go for it. That win.
Tomorrow, only on
Good morning, America.
When you own your own business, you own every decision. And with over $2,500 in annual value, now own the card that rewards you for it. Introducing the business card that gives back all you put in. The new Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business.
I know that you're feeling alone right now and that
it can be such a struggle to get out of bed in the morning.
You may feel like you can never come back from the things that you've done.
There is a way out. There is hope.
You don't have to stay stuck.
It is possible to get clean.
If you want to make it, best believe you're going to make it.
You are lovable.
You are worth so much more.
Your life could look totally different.
I can tell you it's worth it. It's hard, but it's worth it.
Just be brave enough to take that first step.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Kyle with Bill's Heating, here to take a look at your furnace.
I thought you guys were teamed up with Gonzaga. Where's the basketball player?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. We do have Davis Fogel on standby.
Standby?
Oh, yeah. Whenever one of us needs him, we just shout his name.
What?
Watch.
Whoa, it's like magic.
Actually, he just made me wait around the corner.
Exactly. It's magic.
Call Bill's Heating and AC today.
When you own your own business, you own every decision. And with 8 times points on Chase Travel, now own the card that rewards you for it. Introducing the business card that gives back all you put in. The new Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business.
And welcome back. It's been a busy night on the local sports scene. Gonzaga closed out their exhibition game with an 111-53 point win. The Cougs and the Eagles are preparing for big weekends. For a big weekend, the Vandals gearing up for a Halloween showdown, and our Game of the Week voting is open. So thanks for sticking with us. Let's jump right into it with some Zags. And in the dominant showing tonight, the Zags rolled past the Wolves 111-53. Graham Ike was unstoppable. Adam Miller added some flair right here beyond the arc, and Jalen Warley brought some spark too. The Zags looked really sharp early on and kept that rolling throughout the remainder of that game. And that was a good one. Game 3 of the World Series is ongoing, and while the series is already tied up 1-1, it's been a crazy game, the second longest World Series game in history. 5-5 at the top of the 17th inning. At this point, it's a battle of endurance, so we'll see what happens next with the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. And the Cougs had a dominating win on Saturday, but they have their eyes on the stretch run as they're now 4-4 on the season. Bowl hopes are in reach with only 2 wins away to reach that eligibility, and they do look to keep their late season push still alive. Cougs were rolling on both sides of the ball in that game against Toledo. Despite the rainy weather, head coach Jimmy Rogers spoke about the remainder of the season, taking it week by week, 1 game at a time.
So we got to hit the ground running. I'm more worried about closing out this season 1 game at a time with the best team that we can possibly be 1 week after another and take jumps to become better and better and better. And hopefully we're hitting in all strides, getting into a bowl at the end of the season and play our best football at the very end.
And after that thriller of a game this past Saturday, the Cougs will be back in action this weekend on the road. Facing rival Oregon State, kickoff is set for 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday, November 1st. And the Vandals, coming off of a dominant 45-6 victory over Portland State last Saturday, riding on a high note before hitting the road for a Halloween showdown. Versus the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks, the offense was clicking, defense held the Vikings to 6 points, and the focus turns all to Flagstaff as the Vandals look to carry that momentum for a 7:30 p.m. kickoff on Halloween. So should be a good one, exciting there. And EWU coming off of a gritty win over Weber State, and that game really did show what the team could do on both sides of the ball. They found rhythm offensively, and then they had a key interception right here late in the game to seal it on the road. Turning the page to this week's game, the Sacramento State Hornets come to town, and they have grabbed quite a bit of national attention this season. The Eags look to make a statement on the Inferno with kickoff set for 1 p.m. on Saturday, November 1st. And some Big Sky recognition for the Eags after that win. Landon Ogles received the Special Team Co-Player of the Week honor for the second time this season. After a remarkable 10 punts that averaged 44.5 yards, 3 punts over 50 yards, and 5 that landed inside the 20. And the Velocity is heading into the playoffs soon for the second time. Last year they finished as runners-up after a remarkable run. They endured this year's They ended this season's regular season with a record of 13-6-8, earning a home playoff match this time around. So mark your calendars, folks. Round 1 on November 2nd at One Spokane Stadium, with match starting at 5 p.m. And the Chiefs are coming off of a 5-2 loss against the Everett Silvertips on Sunday night. But looking ahead to Wednesday, they're back at home for the second time this week after their long away game streak, and they'll be taking on the Blades this Wednesday with puck drop set for 7:05 p.m. Coming into this one with a chip on their shoulder to take the win in front of a home crowd. And we have our Game of the Week voting now open for you, but there's a fun and exciting change for this week. We're actually doing a Thursday night sports extra, which means voting will actually close on Wednesday. Your matchup choices for this week are Cheney at Mount Spokane, West Valley at East Valley, or Colville at Lakeside. Make sure you head to KXLY.com to cast your vote. And Derek, it's been sports, and more sports. I'm really excited for that spooky season.
The way it is this time of year. We'll be right back.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the... This is your community, and your stories deserve to be heard. At 4 News Now, we're here to listen, connect, and bring you the news that truly matters. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
A penny saved is a lifetime earned. Numerica Credit Union. Money.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks. Like the rugged Colorado, the highly capable Silverado 1500, the powerful Silverado HD, and the uncompromising Silverado EV. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
It's the final days of Chevy Truck Month. Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on all 2026 Silverado 1500 models. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Every day, our customers experience that moment. The moment when the decision is made and the train has left the station. When there's nothing left to do but lean forward and watch a little piece of the future unfold right before your dilated pupils. It only lasts a heartbeat or two, and some moments end better than others. But whatever the outcome, there's never a dull moment at Northern Quest. Yes, the best.
No fair, dude. My Wi-Fi's cooked. Eat it. Do as I feel. Oh yeah, mostly what's you have bewitched me, audience. I love you.
The smartest Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Guaranteed. Xfinity. Imagine that.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
All right, there are now just 4 days left until Halloween. And if you're looking to get into the spooky spirit still, we recommend taking a drive up Spokane South Hill. You can find these fabulous displays at East 58th Court. That is right off of South Cook Street. Lori Hansen has been putting up her display for about 30 years with the goal to be a fun and safe place for the community to get into the holiday spirit.
I love it. Beautiful day tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds. More clouds as we get into the afternoon, a high of 52. We're warming back up after a cold morning, and I'm working on that trick-or-treat forecast. It looks a little bit better tonight.
Well, a lot of people are hoping that it will improve before then. All right, thanks for joining.